Yo, welcome back, guys. It's the big one. It's the AK Mindset podcast. And as always, we're back again with an interesting, creative topic for you. I'm Ed, and the boys with me is Rajel, is Daniel, and let's get into it. Yo, welcome back, guys, to the AK Mindset pod. And it's the big one. Back at you again with episode 37 of the main pod. And today with me, we have the boys. Talk to them, please.
Yeah, what's good, people? Hope everybody is well, like Ed introduced so perfectly. We're back with an interesting topic, which I'm sure will really tickle your fancy. So, yeah, get ready.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another new episode. Been a while, but hope you guys are doing well. And hope you guys watch along as we discuss what we're going to discuss today. If you're new, make sure you're following us on all our social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. It'll be in the description, so just follow us so you can keep updated. And also leave a comment what you thought of the episode and also your thoughts on what we discussed as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dan. And today, the topic of the day is influential anime. Now, I thought this topic would be interesting just to talk with the lads, with the mandem, and see how it goes. But before we even go into the topic mainly, I just want to do something like lighthearted, just a little story time, I guess. Story time with the AK Mindset mandem. What got you into the anime game? What anime kind of introduced you to the world that we are so indulgent in right now? I'll go first, set the pace. So for me, Naruto was the one that got me into anime. Obviously, I didn't know it was anime at first because I just like to draw, basically. I was a Super Strikers fan. If you know Super Strikers, Super Strikers, the actual comic book. So I was a bit artistic. And somebody noticed, a family friend noticed. It's like, you know what? I think you'll like this series. It looks quite similar to what you're drawing, and you really enjoy it. And back in Nigeria, this was this old DVDs. Just it wasn't on TV. So I was like, okay, let me get it. Popped it in, and that basically opened my eyes to the world of anime, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi, Itachi, everyone, and it was a journey. It was a journey, and that's what basically got me into anime before I started watching Pokemon, Ultimate Muscles next, Dragon Ball Z, and yeah, that's what got me to the anime game. What about you guys?
Do you know what kind of resonated with me? The drawing thing. Because, bro, on God, I also drew a lot of cartoons and anime. Bro, I have like Sasuke drawings and Naruto drawings from way back. You just reminded me. Like, I'm like, I still have those. I actually still have those, which is crazy. And that is kind of on brand. Like, you opened a memory that I long since left this mind. Which is funny because I was thinking early on when you brought up the topic or the topic was brought up, I was like, my early anime experience has become so hazy, and it's like getting to a point where I'm kind of forgetting like, oh, what really was it and stuff like that. But 100% had to be the combination of Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon. That two early combo mixed in with, I think the one that really established my kind of intrigue into the medium was definitely Beyblade. That's something I followed heavily, that and Digimon. And then when I started really venture into what we would kind of call mainstream anime, that was the Dragon Ball Z Kai, Naruto, and stuff like that. And that's what birthed me into the world of anime. And since then, I've been eating good, growing.
Amazing. I'm glad I sparked that memory for you because the drawings, it was a must for me. It's like draw anime. That's the pipeline. But what have you done?
Yeah, I think similar to Rajal, I feel like I have to approach this in two stages because I had the time where I'd be watching TV and I was watching anime and I didn't know. So like this was when I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh, Beyblade, similar to Rajal, Digimon. In fact, with Digimon, I remember I used to watch that one on YouTube, and sometimes they don't have the episodes, or sometimes it's in 3 parts, and then I'm looking for part 2, but then they start part 2 at a different part, so I'm just like, oh my days, I'm stressed. But yeah, Digimon, One Piece for a time, I was super confused watching One Piece, and then Shaman King, that was probably my favorite out of the anime I was watching when I didn't know it was anime. And then when I was older, I guess like in secondary school, I kind of remembered that time, and I was like, okay, I never really got to see any of those shows to the completion. So I looked one up, and I started with Fairy Tail, because I went to Bleach and I saw that they were calling the Soul Reapers Death Gods, and I was like, what is this? So I was like, okay, let me watch Fairy Tail. And then I was like, yeah, man, I was in what's it, engrossed, the power of friendship. I was with it all. I was with Natsu, Gajil, all them guys. And then after Fairy Tail, I went to Bleach, and I watched the English dub, because then they were calling it Soul Reaper. So I was like, okay, cool. They're not doing that weird thing. And then I watched that Bankai, and then I was just like, yeah. I was just on my phone, YouTube, watching these Bleach episodes. It was a good time.
That was actually the best time. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would go back just to experience anime like I experienced it then.
Nice.
There was something so like, I think it was so pure, so vivid. Like it had us all in a headlock, like a strong headlock. Where it's like, bro, you have to, like, I'll go to bed smiling. I'm like, right, that YouTube episode I just watched, oh my day, it's cold. I'll be back there tomorrow.
Every weekend, you have to watch the AMV with Linkin Park in the background.
Of course.
What? You have to be searching Dragon
I was
Ball,
never really an AMV
Super
don,
Saiyan 3. Really not? No way.
Nope.
I
Never really.
Rinse that.
What didn't it call out to you about AMVs?
I don't know. I think it would annoy me when I look something up, and then I think it's like a clip, but no, it's just like it's got this background rock music, and I'm just like, what the hell? I didn't sign up for this.
Fair enough. Nah, it sold me dreams, and I loved it. I bought into the dream, and it was just, yeah. I started watching so many animes because of that. It's like, you know what? What's the next AMV? I'm going to start watching that as well, because it just looked really cool. Then, go ahead.
It felt like it heightened the emotional parts. I don't know about it, but that's what really hit with me, those AMVs. I'll be like, okay. Are you mad? I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm there.
High emotions. I used to do this thing as well. It's like, I'll just go on the internet and search up, Goku Super Saiyan 3 with long hair, just to see a new design. Just to see a new design of what Goku is now. And that was fun. I was just like, you know what does Luffy look like now? Does he have Gear 7? And that was the journey.
Maybe making stuff up. Like I saw Super Saiyan 5. I was like, oh raw, they got Super Saiyan 5.
I can't wait to reach that. Super Saiyan 5.
I saw like Super Saiyan like 1000 or something, Ultimate Saiyan, with the hair was like draped around him, going in a circular motion.
I think I've seen that one as well.
I was like, what is? But when I saw it, I was like, this is legit. This is what we call true strength. This is real progression. I need to see it.
Oh man, this new Dun's done. They're never gonna experience that. Everything's accessible now, which is good. But no, you have to do part 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
When you're watching Bleach, when you're watching Naruto, it's like, and for some reason, part 3 is not there. It's part 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. That used to piss me off. It's like, what happened to part 3, man? There's a 4-minute hole I can't even watch again. Oh yeah,
They're lucky I didn't know how to use the comment section then. I would have been pressing heat. I'd be like, bro, release part 4, please. And if I come back and it's not here, the kindness in my words that I've showcased so far, it's not going to be there. I'm going to be onto you. You know what I mean?
Nah, man, the nostalgia is crazy. That was a great time.
I wanted to say, just shout out to Sonic X. That's it, man.
No, that was legit. Sonic X was actually legit.
Fam. That second season, oh my days. They went crazy.
Story-wise, they were doing things
exactly.
Especially, I don't know. I feel like it was one of those when you rewatch it, you realize there was so much depth and stuff that you weren't even noticing as a kid, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know it was an anime, and then I'm seeing it in Japanese. I'm like, raw. This is really just an anime. Fair enough.
The story of a life, I watch so many stuff. It's like, that's not anime. Oh, it's Japanese dub. Oh, it's the original. It's anime all along. Crazy. But my next question was gonna be for you, Daniel and Rojal, like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and for me, Naruto. Do you think without those three animes, do you think you'll still find your way into the anime world, or do you have the same impact? Do you think that was the major influence for you getting to the anime? I go Rojal first.
Do you know? First, I was like, "Wait, this is a tough question," but now I realized the answer is kind of straightforward. Like, I know that, especially with my early experience, because I can talk for myself. If I did not interact with those shows that early and didn't have the vivid experience that kind of foreshadowed how I'm going to, work within that medium in regards to the content that I consume, I don't think I'll be here today watching anime. Like, I don't think I'll be here right now talking on the anime pod. You know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those things that, because of obviously the opportunity cost, like, bro, there's actually not a lot of time. There's not a lot of time in the day. Something had to have been that good for me now at my big age, still choosing to dedicate a good section of my time to continue to experience that realm, continue to discuss it, continue to just be inspired by it on like a day to day. Like, that is what you call influence. Like, that influence and change everything going forward in regards to kind of content I'm consuming. Because I know that without anime, I wouldn't have ventured out into any of the Eastern media. Probably wouldn't have been gone towards watching any K-dramas or Thai dramas or even Indian films and stuff like that, because I would have been like, okay, it's the Western thing. Like, I'm just consuming that. But it kind of invoked that curiosity from an early age. It's like, as you kind of grew in knowledge, I'm like, I'm experiencing Digimon, then I'm experiencing Naruto. This is actually anime. Oh my days. Okay, what else is out there? Then when I'm continuing on progressing in that road, I'm like, okay, what else is out there? Like, so definitely for me, I know, bro, I would never have could like probably watched the amount I watch now if I didn't get the joy or the spark that kind of lit that fire in me.
Amazing. I respect it. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree, because if I didn't have that exposure, then I probably wouldn't have known about it as early as I did, and then I probably wouldn't have got into it. I think probably I would have focused more on other mediums or series, because, like, using One Piece as an example, because I didn't even watch that many episodes of One Piece when I was a kid. I only remember Buggy putting him under stress, and because I saw that, and I used to go to the library very frequently in my younger days. Every time I go to the library and I see like a One Piece volume, and I'm like, why? How is this series still going on? And that way, I keep it in my mind. I'm just like, what is this? Why? How is this series so long? Because of the manga, and then that gets me curious about the other series that might be like from Japan, like Ultimate Muscle. I was watching Ultimate Muscle, and then I go online and I see like there's a manga which is completely different. I'm just like, okay, like these stories there's more of these stories, which gets you kind of curious, because when you're watching on TV, it's very hard to watch all the episodes, because if you're not there like at the specific time of the week, if you miss one day and you don't have catch up TV these times, so I think having an early exposure, channels like Jetix, Nicktoons with Yu-Gi-Oh, CITV, they all were very them even airing those shows is probably what got a lot of people like our age into anime. So yes, I don't think we would be here, or I would be here without them.
Fair enough. I think I have like a slightly different answer because I think I'll still be into anime, but not as heavily as I would. Because I think the Naruto, especially for me, with the AMVs, with even like, I don't think I'll be collecting manga right now without like obviously that kind of exposure to Naruto the first. Because I think because of like what I watched anyway on TV, because of CITV, like you said and stuff, I think I'll still be there. But like probably my first introduction, probably like Ultimate Muscle instead of like Naruto or the series. So it's like it's gonna be there, but I won't be like trying to go to Comic Con. I won't be collecting mangas. So it's there, but like a low key, like I watch anime. What have you watched? I watched Ultimate Muscle and Dragon Ball. That's it. Compared to like some niche kind of stories like Vagabond, I read that. So I think that's the kind of difference for me because I think as a kid I just watched so much anime without realizing I watched so much anime. I think with Naruto, it just got me opened my eyes up like, oh, this is a Japanese series. I've got the manga. You have to read it back to front. I think so. Without Naruto, especially for my manga, I would not be here. I think my art as well, because I still like drawing today now and then, will have been dead or just ended with like Super Strikers and that's it. So I think with Naruto, the kind of love I have for anime would be a lot more reduced. But yeah, just interesting in seeing and hearing everyone's kind of how they feel about how they go into anime. It's really, really amazing. But
I do quickly want to add
Yep.
that because we started so early, we kind of avoided the stigma around anime. Like
Yeah.
we there
that's
was
true.
no informed opinion on it. We came to it with like our pure selves, and we had no other judgments of it just outside of us. So that kind of gave us a better kind of entry point in, because I've seen that a lot of people, especially so like people I've talked to, and I'm like, oh, you be interested in the series. You really have to kind of put a lot of effort into kind of persuading them that everything they've heard about the medium is not as it seems, you know what I mean? All those, obviously, some of the things, there's no smoke without fire, as they say. So some of the things that is real, but is construed in a way that has made a lot of people not want to look in, or you have to really force the agenda. So that's why I'm really happy. Like, I know that coming to anime from an early age, and there's the natural kind of discovery of the medium is why I love it so much. And I think everybody who I've never met somebody yet who, when they've had that kind of natural curiosity by themselves, looking into anime, eventually kind of growing up with it, all of them love it. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a very good point, because I didn't even think about that, because I feel like without Naruto, that kind of innocence of going to anime might not be there. So when I'm watching like Ultimate Muscle and maybe I hear like some negative stuff in school, I get turned off from it. I was like, no, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to watch this because it's weird. Or people make fun of people because of that. So that's a good point. I think, yeah, it's very, because that kind of innocence, like, no, I want to watch it because I want to watch it, not because someone told me to watch it or someone forced me to watch it, or no one discouraged me from watching it. That's a great point. Amazing. But yeah, moving on, just going to the main topic right now. The question I want to ask is, what does influence mean to you guys when in terms of anime? So when someone says this is an influential anime, or this is the most influential anime or manga, what do you think that influence means to you? Do you think it's popularity? The more things is like inspired, or is it both of them joined together, or is it other kind of aspect I haven't mentioned yet? So we'll go Daniel first and just talk to us. What does influence mean to you in terms of anime?
So I think for me, I believe it's the impact it has on wider culture. Is it bigger than just an anime or manga? When I see people who you wouldn't expect referencing the show, like when you have athletes, Olympians, musicians making references, that's when I feel like an anime or manga has a big influence. Also influence within its own community. When you have new mangaka or existing mangaka saying, "Oh yeah, this you're getting references to the series in their series, or they mention how reading the first series has had an impact on why they decided to pick up being a manga artist in the first place. I feel like that's a good indicator on what a influential series would be like.
Amazing. That's a great point. Roger, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm along the same lines in regards to influence. Definitely, like how widespread you like how well known or widespread the anime goes in regards to across culture, across races and stuff like that. Not something that is geo-locked to one location, but it is universal in regards to people's understanding of the story, especially the emotions that it makes people feel and stuff like that. Also influence, like you get to the level of influence when like you're represented heavily in other spaces, whether that is music, art, academia. Like, but wasn't it the other day we talked about a degree for something like anime related? Like,
Yeah.
that's influence. That's influence when like you're doing something so special that it has to be studied, it has to be acknowledged. Like you have intrinsic value that is beyond just something that is watched and enjoyed as a pastime. It's a like a real cultural movement, a real cultural shift, a real like milestone or significant moment within a group in society who have enjoyed that and have adopted some of the values because of how impactful it is. So like, and we know that a lot of animes have done that. A lot of animes, like Daniel beautifully said, have gone beyond the scope of just being something that you watch on screen, but it's gone to a point when it's like you a lifestyle, you live it. You know what I mean? It's and people embroider it on their bodies, like with tattoos. People have their quotes. Like it's things that have really impacted people in a way that it has got them through hardships, but also made them smile, made them laugh. Have also what's the most important thing about anime? Connects people with other people. That's the most beautiful thing about anime, and that is where you know you have major influence.
Amazing. I mean, I don't even know what I can add. You guys said it beautifully. Just picking up what both of you said, I think, especially for Daniel, when it says like the influence in your own kind of community as well. I'm sure you have many examples of like, people's like, you know what, I couldn't have picked up the pen in the first place if it wasn't for this person. When the person becomes bigger than the series they even do, that's kind of what influence is to me. It has to be kind of popularity as well as impact. Sports, music, tattoos, like Rochelle said. I think it's just when it comes larger than life a little bit, like, you know what? Wow. I didn't expect this popular music artist to reference this series. Oh, wow. Really? In sports, they have like a banner of this character? I think that's when influence is really shown because, you know what? It's not only spoken when it comes to anime community. When they go to like an NFL game, it's like, oh, what's your favorite character in TV shows? People start mentioning anime because that's considered TV shows to them as well. So I think that's what influence is. But apart from that, you guys have said it beautifully. And I guess the next question is...
Can I quickly add one more thing?
Yes, of course.
I was going to say that, like, just on the small scale, because look at us, like, today, like, every other day when we come together to record, bro, this is influence. Like, we've been moved to actually come together, 3 guys in London, just to speak about anime and how it makes us feel and share our joy. And then, obviously, there's people out there who want to watch that. They're trying to find access to that. Look at spaces on Discord, social media. I see there's a Chopper page. There's a Chopper page with like 500k followers, bro. The guy just posts a picture of Chopper in different locations. You know what I mean? That's what anime has done. That's kind of influence, and like it's done just even on the small scale.
Yeah. Even when it comes to emotion as well, before we move on, I think when anime starts to like bring you intense emotions, like a lot of joy, you can't even contain yourself anymore. You have to speak about it. With sadness when a favorite character passes away, or when it comes to intense emotions, where he's like, you know what, I don't care what people think. I'm just going to talk about it, and you're happy talking about it. I think that's what clear influence shows. But I guess the next question I'm going to ask is, I'm going to make it a little bit difficult and just say, what do you think is the one most influential anime in your opinion? Just one? One. Just one. So you can't say too many, just one. Just so we can get like a kind of a little bit of diverse answers, I'd say. It might be the same answer for everyone, to be fair, but let's go Daniel first.
Haha. I feel bad for you guys. So I'm gonna say JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I mean, there's so many different series where they'll be like, that's a JoJo reference. I mean, its influence speaks for itself just through that, but it's also referenced in not just anime and manga, video games, Persona. The whole thing of Persona is based on stands, so that's one thing. And I mean, I think it's been influenced in fashion as well. I'm pretty sure I've seen like fashion shows based on like JoJo Bizarre Adventure. That's the designs that you see. So
yeah,
I think JoJo is just like, if you're thinking about influence, it's a very it's the one that comes to my mind. Yeah.
Amazing. That's a great answer. Amazing answer. Michelle, you go next.
Okay, I was gonna say Akagami get killed, but I didn't want to mock it too much.
I was gonna say,
Well,
I was gonna
like,
mock it,
yeah,
but I
man.
was like,
Let's.
let me let me be serious.
This is a parody list, bro. I mean, Akame get killed. Is it? You could say it's influential in terms of like maybe just the ruthlessness of killing, or its characters.
Yeah,
without that,
sell it
I
for me.
wouldn't
Sell
get
it for
Game of
me.
Thrones in the first place.
It's true. It's true. Everything was birthed from here. This is the starting point. This is the seed. But my real pick is Castle in the Sky, Studio Ghibli.
Ooh.
There was actually a couple Studio Ghibli films that I wanted to showcase, but I picked the one that I've kind of had a lot of conversations with people about, and it's like, out of all the Studio Ghibli films, most people have watched it if they've watched Studio Ghibli, and it's very recognizable. The art style, the story, the feel good nature of all their films, but also Castle in the Sky, and the ability to tell stories that kind of translate to all ages is what makes it so significant and so influential to me, and something that like people continue to go back to, like how long we're able to watch stuff, or so yeah, man, that's for me.
No, this is the reason I had to put like 5 answers down just in case people take my stuff. So no, JoJo is gone. I was going to do Studio Ghibli as a whole, was a bit of cheating, but there was that as well. But I guess the one that no one expects as kind of obvious is Dragon Ball. I guess it made it a lot more real for me with the celebration of life, I should say, of Akira Toriyama, and kind of I didn't expect. I mean, how influential Dragon Ball is, but I think when people were celebrating his life and his works, I was generally surprised how many series were just like influenced or referenced Dragon Ball at least once. You'll be shocked. Almost every anime we know of has a little bit of reference from Dragon Ball. It's like JoJo a little bit. It's like there's some things. That's a JoJo pose. That's a JoJo reference. That's a Dragon Ball reference. And also, I think it also goes to the amount of mangakas from my favorite shows and series and mangas who picked up the pen just because of Dragon Ball. And I think that has to be praised because how amazing the show is and how much more shows we got because of it. I think that's what influence means to me when it comes to the most influential anime. But that's my answer. That's my answer. But moving on to the next kind of section, this is probably the reason why I picked up this topic in the first place. So it's like, no, this is so interesting. We have to have a conversation about it. And is the big three. First of all, do you think the big three in general are influential at all? And if you do, what do you think is the most influential of the big three? Again, I'll go for Dan first.
So do I think the big three are influential, and which is the most influential?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think it goes without saying that the big three are very influential. I feel like they are one of the main reasons anime got popular within just the Western side of the world. Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. They all help to increase the popularity of anime manga series here. So yes, they are influential. So the one I think is the most influential, I'm actually gonna say Bleach for inside the community. I know now I would, if it was just in general, I would have said Naruto, but in the community I'd say Bleach, because there's so many new mangaka I see that say like, oh yeah, I was inspired by Bleach, Kubo. Like you have stuff like Demon Slayer, Black Clover, all of that stuff with the swords is modeled off Bleach. So I feel like when it comes to influence, Bleach has had a lot of influence. Even like Bankai, when you have stuff like Domain Expansion, you can tell where man got that from. He tried to just get that, that big impact moment. I feel like Bankai and Super Saiyan, but Bankai is something that Gege has been inspired from. And I think he even had an interview with Kubo, and you can kind of just see the reference he has. So Bleach is very well respected by the peers in the manga community. So Bleach is my answer.
Amazing, good answer. Jean, what do you think?
Yeah, I have an evolving answer. I have an answer that will go on to evolve. So initially, my initial thought straight away is Naruto as the most influential of the big three in regards to scope and even accessibility. It seemed that everybody had access to experiencing Naruto in some point, and if it was like a majority of people, if you watch anime and you're of a certain age bracket or like time period you're born in, like you've watched Naruto, like you've experienced it. But long term, I do believe One Piece is going to be the most influential. I do also want to add that I think realistically, I don't think there is one that is above the other, because like to have a big three, each one needs to put its part. If not, it would just be a one. And we just said, just the one. But we said a big three, and it's called the big three for a reason, because they're all insignificant in regards to contributing to the popularization of anime, and that showcased obviously by their sales and viewership numbers and everything over the last couple of decades. So for me, One Piece, just because of longevity and the curiosity behind that, will continue to kind of bring people in, because even though we say it's crazy long and that is a barrier to entry, a lot of people are going to be like, rah, like how they're going to be born, like kids are going to be born in 15 years time, they'll be like, rah, like there's a show that, how is it so long? Like how good of a show do you have to be that long? And probably will be interested just to like push forward with watching it or reading it. So that's kind of my 2 pence on that.
That's an amazing answer. I didn't even see like One Piece in that kind of prospect, but that's a good answer. For me, I would say it's a bit of a difficult one, because I asked a question, funny enough, and I found it hard to answer. So it's funny that you answered it so easily.
We racked our brains, man.
Yeah, you did.
For me, I would probably say Bleach as well. I think it's because of the way I see influence a little bit, because I understand the scope when it comes to Naruto, obviously. But I just think, like, do we get more anime because of influence in that sense of, like, you know what? Bleach has influenced so many new, as the young bucks say, the new gen, that is actually surprising, because it's like, specifically in my mind with the kind of interviews they had with even Kubo as well, and even asked about Kubo, with Jujutsu Kaisen, like Daniel said, Black Clover, Demon Slayer, even My Hero Academia. Surprisingly, people will find out that that was influenced by Bleach as well, because he said drawing characters with Bankai when he was in secondary school because of Bleach. Demon Slayer, because most people see Demon Slayer Naruto, but it was Naruto and Bleach that influenced um, Demon Slayer and JoJo as well. Funny enough, they influenced Demon Slayer. Then Black Clover. Some people think Naruto as well, but it was Bleach when it gets referenced. It's like, you know what? Bleach was the one. The big sword, the demon inside was all Bleach. And Jujutsu Kaisen, the domain expansion, and the demon inside as well. Bleach again. Which, because before this, I would say if someone asked me, I'll probably say Naruto. But with further research and when I was like researching for this topic, I'm more inclined to say Bleach. And it also makes me happy because sometimes Bleach gets unfairly criticized because it's the least favorite of the big three. But it's a big three for a reason. It's Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, not just Naruto and One Piece. So I'm so glad that Bleach has that kind of thing. When it comes to fashion and influence, personally, I think Bleach got it. And that makes me happy. But that's my answer. That's my answer.
It's crazy.
Say that again, sorry?
Oh, I said it was well articulated. Sorry.
It was. I do agree with that. I was gonna add a little story, cheeky one. What was kind of crazy is that back in the day, it was like secondary school, and that's the first time I got introduced to Bleach. And somebody, obviously, they were talking about Bleach, and I was just trying to get involved. So I thought they were talking about, obviously, they're talking about Bleach as the cleaning. So I exposed myself real quick for my lack of knowledge in that area. It was very embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very embarrassing that to this day, do you know when something just lives with you and you know you're not gonna be able to forget about it?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my low moments. Like, Robert Joe, you thought we were talking about Bleach? That's crazy.
I mean, like,
what
else are you supposed to, like, Domestos and that? Yeah, man.
You know the ones. I was like, you man clean as well. I love helping my mom clean. Good songs in that.
It's hilarious. I want the ground to open up and just eat me up. It's like, what? We're not talking about that, bruv. I'm talking about this anime. It's like, oh, swear. Say nothing. You just have to be quiet. Because what do you say?
Legit, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't talk much for the rest of the day. I was gonna tell you the truth.
Oh, that's peak.
Oh my days.
Before we quickly move on, I still want to talk about Naruto a little bit because I guess because we've shined light upon One Piece and Bleach, but Naruto as well. I think without Naruto, for me personally, I don't know for in general, for you guys, I wouldn't have watched Bleach or One Piece if it wasn't for Naruto. So I watched Naruto. So I said, oh, you watch Naruto? You would love One Piece. I'm like, no way. One Piece is better than Naruto. Impossible. So I had to watch One Piece. Then after that, it's like, oh, you've watched Naruto and One Piece, then you have to complete it. What do you mean complete it? You've not heard about the big three before? So I think that kind of... I watched the big three because of Naruto, so I think that kind of scope is also important as much as like the influence within your community. And Naruto, it was massive in the West, bro. Massive in the West. You had people to this day who watch Naruto and nothing else, almost like how people watch Dragon Ball and nothing else. So respect to that series. It has its up and down sometimes, but a great series nonetheless. Great series.
Yeah, I feel like you got lucky, you know, because some people have like the exact opposite. They're like, if you watch one, now it feels like you have to join the Bleach gang and be against the rest, you know what I mean? Especially at certain like time periods. Because that's how it felt for me. Like I was watching Naruto, that's what I feel like I've never fully like got into Bleach. Obviously, I watched it, but I've never fully invested myself. Like, if you start talking about stuff, I'll watch it. I'll just forget about it because I wasn't really engaged with it. And I think that's because of my early experience, where it's like, I feel like I was in the Naruto faction. Like, I was headband, hands back, sprinting forward. Yeah, I was there.
The
Shinobi,
Naruto
young
one. That's
like-
influence, you know?
I'm
Naruto
like
one.
the-
It was on news, bruv. Naruto one is crazy.
I'm like the opposite because I didn't watch Naruto till probably late.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like
Was the last one?
yeah. I probably watched Naruto like 2016, 17.
Jeez.
I watched Bleach first. That was like year 9, 10. And then I watched One Piece after I finished my GCSEs because I was like, okay, I got like 8 weeks till we start A levels, so let me just do this now. And I think I've already said my story with One Piece, so like
Yeah.
I was just unserious because I was just like, how is this series going on? I was just picking up volumes just
By
to
the
see.
way, I'm so sorry what happened to you as well. I just remembered when you said your story about One Piece. I would cry.
I did it to myself. For me, I was just curious because I was just like, I watched this. I watched this when I was a kid. Why is it still going on? I'm seeing volume 50. I'm like, okay. I just opened the volume. I'm just like, okay, cool. But I don't know.
We got spoiled.
No,
That
I spoiled myself as well. So, like I said,
Wow.
I go to the library and I'm seeing One Piece and I'm like, why is this series so long? So I open up the volume and I'm seeing Luffy holding Ace. He's crying. I'm like, why is he crying? And then I pick up the next one. And then I see Blackbeard. He's got both powers. He's got the black one and the white one. I'm like, oh, Whitebeard lost to Blackbeard. I'm like, raw. And I'm like, so yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know the significance.
Do you know how unlucky you have to be to open up the manga of One Piece? How much it is, and you open to Ace.
Oh, I was just
All the
confused.
volumes.
I was just confused. I'm like, bro, how is this so long? And I'm like, I don't even see any of the characters from when I was watching as a kid.
Early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to think that Big Chopper and Small Chopper were father and son. That's how confused I was.
No, that story is always going to be wild to me. Jeez.
That's so funny. You know, that's the first time I heard this story.
No way.
Oh God, I did not know that.
That's a generational story. That's what you tell your grandkids. That's
Yeah.
wild.
Chopper, Small Chopper, father and son is crazy. It's actually that's elite stuff.
I mean, that's what I used to think with
stuff.
Goku, because you have Dragon Ball when he's a kid, and then when he's older.
Yeah.
So I was just like, bro, why is there big Goku and small Goku?
It's not Goku.
Yeah, man. But
We weren't
Yeah.
adding up.
I was a Bleach man first and foremost, and so.
Mad.
But I never really had the thing with Naruto, so I didn't know that there was like a big beef. I was just like watching my Bleach, then I watched One Piece, then I watched Naruto finally, and I liked all of them. So I think doing it that way, and I don't think I was really in a community because like in my school anyway, there weren't really that many people who watched anime, just Dragon Ball really, and it was just like 2 or 3 dons.
That's
Mad.
crazy because bare people in my school watch Bleach. Like a lot of people watch Bleach.
Oh, I
And
wouldn't fit in.
there was
Really?
a couple of us who watched Naruto, like who were more fixated on Naruto, and then I was doing a bit on the side One Piece, just because I seen it early on. But that's why I had an interest in Bleach only because like the majority of people were watching Bleach. And you know what I mean? So I'm trying to be involved in the conversation and that. So I have incentive. But like I said, it wasn't like my first favorite. Like, it wasn't the thing that I'm like inspired me. It wasn't that Naruto for me. That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard that.
Fair enough. Because for me, there was no faction because I think I just like, when you like something so much and someone just comes to say like, well, this is better. I'm like, no way. But there was no faction because it was just me and this guy, Kevin. I always remember him because he used to draw as well. So because he drew, obviously, and I used to draw Naruto. But there's some characters I wasn't noticing. I was like, what is this? Why are you portraying Naruto like this? Why are you drawing this guy? Who is this guy? It's like, oh, it's One Piece. It's better. I'm like, nah. But I think because of my personality, and because I just want to watch more and know more. So it's like, you know what? Let's see how good this is. Let's see. So I can prove him wrong. Then I watched it. I was like, oh, damn, it's really good. I know which one I like better. Then I kept watching it. Then I preferred One Piece. It's like, okay, fair enough. Then
Bro, you would say it's better so quickly though.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So when Bleach came out, someone says, oh, you need to complete it. There was no like kind of resistance as it was before with Naruto. So, well, someone said it before, and I like One Piece, and I've ended up liking it better now. So let me try Bleach and see what it is. And I love Bleach as well. So I'm like, you know what? So that's what I think. I think because of how small the community was, especially in Scotland for me. So there was done that kind of like it was just a personal, like, I really like this. How can you dare say that this is better? But when I watched it, it's like, oh, fair enough. I see why. That's kind of my journey with the big three.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It's really interesting. But that's the big three. But the next one I was going to say is that are there any anime or manga you think don't really get the flowers when it comes to how much they influenced other series, the community around the world? Do you think the ones like, no, everyone talks about the big three. Everyone talks about Dragon Ball. Everyone talks about JoJo. Everyone talks about Studio Ghibli. But this one's, no one talks about it. But it's low-key, heavily influenced. I'll go Daniel first again.
Okay, so what I would say is just probably it's gonna be a lot of the older series that people don't watch. Like, and when I'm saying older, I mean before 1990. So
Oof.
Fist of the North Star. I know that even that inspired JoJo. I'm pretty sure. Like that early JoJo phase, yeah, that was very heavily inspired. Saint Seiya as well. I think that probably has some influence. Probably a majority of the series written by Osamu Tezuka, because he's basically the grandfather of manga. He inspired people like Toriyama. So yeah, I don't have like specific series, but just definitely a lot of people don't go back to watch like the like the origins of anime and manga, or probably because it's just like so different to what it is now. But like that's where you already see where like a lot of things get their influence, and even stuff like Kinnikuman Ultimate Muscle, that has some influence on Dragon Ball as well. Like even just the whole like format of like the shonen fighting, I've heard that has like that's like probably like the first series that did it properly. So yeah.
Yeah, good answers. Rachel, what are you?
Yeah, I was more thinking in line with what kind of gave it popularity in regards to like the West, and that also enabled, people to kind of give more recognition, and be more open to anime. So obviously, my first instinct was to go with something that's not really people watched it, and we've talked about it a lot, but stuff like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh, those are highly influential in regards to just popularization of anime and being like the door that kind of got everybody kind of going towards the path that we all ended up on watching the show that like we all know now. So yeah, that's my 2 pence.
It's good answers as well. For me, I'm glad you guys didn't even pick this one because, like, they're gonna say it. They're gonna say it. But I think Sensei was like one I was thinking about as well because that was a big boy back in the day, and Fist of the North Star as well. But the one that comes to mind, I didn't really get to this answer until I went to more gatherings of anime people, like Comic Cons, and just basically speaking to anyone that's not boys, basically. And that's how I came to Sailor Moon.
Hey.
Because without Sailor Moon, the magical girls will not get the shine. And some of the girls ride hard for that series. They ride hard for that series. And deservedly so. And because it's a great series, and without it, the cosplay scene as well, especially wouldn't get the kind of boom it did when it comes to like a lot more women getting into anime and stuff like that. So I think Sailor Moon deserves a shout out there. And for me as well, I think Death Note. And I think obviously there's shows other than it, like probably like Monster that has done the psychological thriller kind of thing. But I think in the sense of like, what is the first series? What anime should I watch first? Most of the time people say, Death Note, watch it first. It's a good series,
That's
nice
true.
and easy. So I think Death Note, and without Death Note, there's no Psychopaths in my opinion, or the series like that as well. Because the psychological thriller and the crazy main character as well. And when it comes to even like Western animation, just like almost copying it, or like, you know what, I took a chip and I ate it. I started writing maniacally. That was definite. So I think that deserves a little shout out there as well. So my answer is like Sailor Moon and Death Note. Those two specifically.
Yeah, shout out to Sailor Moon, Shoujo Boys. Never read it, but shout out to that. And Utsuna as well. That's another one for the magical girls. Originator.
Fair enough.
Originator. Cute girls doing cute things, but with magic.
With magic.
Yes,
and
sir.
overpowered as hell. Overpowered as hell. But I might get into Sailor Moon one time, you know. I'm a lot more slower in my watching right now, but it might go on the list because the way people talk about it, it must be good. So I must touch it one time. But yeah. So the next one, I touched on it a little bit, but I was going to ask whether you think what comes to mind, or what is your favorite. I think I'll do it like this. What is your favorite kind of influence or kind of reference to anime when it comes to Western animation? So your cartoons, your other Western animation, what do you think is your favorite, or the one that comes to mind when it comes to like, influence of anime and Western animation? What comes to mind? Again, we'll go Daniel.
Okay, so you made it easier, but I think I feel like stuff like Shaolin Showdown's definitely got influence from Japan, just in terms of like the art style. And I was reading that Teen Titans as well, Teen Titans and Powerpuff Girls, in terms of like stylistically, they draw their inspiration from anime in terms of like, you know, with Powerpuff Girls, they have the big eyes and then they're kind of like chibis in terms of like their stature. And with Teen Titans, you've got like the overexpressive nature of their reactions. So I guess for me, Teen Titans and then Powerpuff Girls would be mine. But I know, is it Gumball? I swear they have like they did a reference in Gumball.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do it all the time.
Many, yeah.
Even for your parents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Channel
They've
Chasers.
had a couple references with Dragon Ball Z.
That was gas.
Very gas.
Yeah. Okay. Rajah, what do you think?
Mine, I went with like the cinematic world. So stuff, obviously, more recent years, Creed 3, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, just hands for days, and that kind of inspiration of taking, just taking aspects of it to make the action scenes more like powerful and more, explosive and enjoyable. And that's what anime gives you, and those type of anime gives you those like crazy experience where the fighting like is kind of gets you up on your feet and gets you going. And I think those movies such as Creed 3 done a great job with that. Stuff like Perfect Blue inspiring many films like Black Swan in regards to like the psychological aspects and female protagonist, dependency on drugs and stuff like that, not kind of seeping in and out, or reality, those kind of storylines. Definitely big anime inspiration from that. And I think I even heard, what was it, like The Matrix? There was a little inspiration from that. I'm not sure what one, but that's what I heard. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. But cinematically, there's been a lot taken in regards to what anime has done well and used in a different field.
Yeah. I mean, these were amazing answers, both of you. Amazing. Again, you guys said some of the things I wanted to say, especially for Creed as well with Ippo. Fun fact. That's a little bit of an influence there. Then the one that we didn't talk about when it comes to like people that don't get the flowers as much is Akira with the backslide.
Yeah.
Everyone does that. Everyone does that. Then I think a little bit more on this, not niche, there's a lot of things. I was surprised how many people get the kind of influence from Cowboy Bebop, stuff like Archer. You ever watched it with the opening and the kind of jazzy feel for it as well. So Cowboy Bebop, then Steven Universe as well, and some stuff like that. And Ghost in the Shell, regular show, you said that already, but yeah, that kind of interlink with this anime that influenced a lot of series. Ghost in the Shell, Akira, Ashima Ippo, Cowboy Bebop, and shows like who take influence from a lot of different things. Fellow Parents, the regular show, Solar Opposite, even Rick and Morty as well. So yeah, you can see the influence from anime in a lot of series, and yeah, I also appreciate that the Western animation, even West, not even animation, just the Western shows in general, kind of acknowledge how great some of our favorite anime series are. But yeah, now to end it all with something a little bit more fun, I thought I'll ask, because personally this happened to me. Do you think, were you ever influenced to create a kind of story or draw a story, make a manga, make an anime because of your favorite series at all before? We'll go Daniel first again.
Well, I don't think so. But if I'd say probably the anime that's inspired my creativity the most is what we read last year. Blank Canvas. That was that.
Oh,
I feel like that. I feel like that. The whole message of that was just like, that whole thing about just draw, just just create. So I felt like that was probably the thing that stoked the fires of creativity within me the most out of everything I've read or watched anime manga wise.
Oh, well, that was an amazing answer right there. that was a good callback.
Mm.
Read Black Canvas, everyone, if you haven't already. Great series, approved by the AK Mindset.
Yes, sir.
Rachel, what about you?
Yeah, I got two. I can't lie to you. I got two. I'll start with the anime one. Obviously, Naruto. I have spent many hours in my youth drawing Sasuke, drawing Naruto, drawing the Pervy Sage, whoever. You know what I mean? That was my go-to. I don't know, that's how you know a show is impactful, when even in beyond watching it, I wanted to practice my art style and see if I could draw like them. In regards to inspired to create a series, one summer holiday back in the day. You know the show Total Drama Island?
Yeah.
Okay,
With
me
Chris.
and my sisters, me and my sisters created our own whole story. And you know how long Total Drama Island is? I did the art, my other sister did like the story, and somebody else filled in the ideas. And we spent like a good 2 weeks of our 6 weeks creating our own Total Drama Island. And
that's cool.
Like, it was a beautiful moment. I don't know where that story is at the moment. I did probably somewhere catching dust, but that was a good time. And it just shows that, even outside anime, when you watch something that is inspiring, it really pushes you to take action and create your own thing, and you never know where that leads to.
That's amazing. I would love to find it, bruv. Let's read it. Let's see what.
It's probably so dead.
You'd be surprised. Our younger selves were very inspirational. We thought about the wildest things. What if this person just flew, but he flew with his legs spinning around really fast? We'll never do that now. We're like, that's stupid. That doesn't make sense.
Helicopter legs.
Yeah, what's that? But as a kid, yeah, let's run with it. For me, I have a few, to be fair. I think Naruto, that's the reason I started drawing in the first place, like anime-wise, like anime and manga stuff. I started technically because of Super Strikers, but Naruto took it to the next level. I was just drawing. The amount of Naruto characters I've drawn, you would never expect it, bro. So many Kakashis that I failed because drawing his mask was annoying. Naruto with the spiky hair. Sasuke because it was so cool, Ino and Sakura as well. So when it comes to the art-wise, that was Naruto all there. Then funny enough, Fairy Tail made me create a series. I remember in my head right now, it was called Twin Legends. But I kid you not, they made characters look exactly like Natsu and Grey.
Don't kill me.
Wow. Exactly like that.
That's hard.
But they were twins. One was fire, one was ice. Nudge nudge. And they were twins, and the brother did teleportation, the sister was darkness, and they were a family of legends that got betrayed, and they're trying to get power back. That's as much as I can remember. But I just remember those two, the twins, look exactly alike, and they fell out, and they almost was a bit of narrative of like the one guy trying to get the other guy back. But I just remember it looked exactly like that twin. Great. Looking back at it, it's like, oh my God, if I ever produce this, plagiarism immediately.
If in the next 2 years this comes out, and it's somebody else, we're suing. You hear that? We're suing. Collective sue, get sued by the AK mindset.
Yeah, that was interesting though. But I think I have a lot of answers because I typed it up because it related to me a lot. But One Piece is when it comes to just me making stuff up in the house and playing with my sister. It's like, oh, I have this devil fruit. No, all of a sudden my sister has the Whitebeard devil fruit. She's Quake all of a sudden. And I have Marco the Phoenix, and someone has that, and we're just playing. Like, I did this. No, you can't dodge it. Well, I dodged it. No. But it's funny because I was like a big teenager, but I didn't care. I was like, I'm playing with my sister with One Piece, bro. So that was fun. But I think the biggest one for me was when I was in secondary school. It was a funny story still. There was two girls who had beef, and they were just beefing each other. Alice and Olivia, I remember specifically. And I thought, you know what? What about I just drew a comic or manga because just based on them? And it's in my class. And I still have the I don't know where it is now.
That's cold.
That was 2 years ago. I still found that. I made it. It was like I folded an A4 piece of paper. I folded it in half like 4 times. So there's like 4 different pieces of A4 paper. And I did the character. I did that Naruto, like, oh, this is Naruto. This is what he is. Then Alice and Olivia were the main characters, and I just made it. And people read it. People from other classes came to come and read, like, oh, you have it. But I'm still surprised I got it back because it was lost for a bit. But
did they clock who it was? Did they clock it? Did you give them the same name, or did they? It was.
Oh yeah, they knew I was drawing it.
Oh, cool.
I was a bit biased because I was friends with Alice more, so Alice was winning. So Olivia hated me, obviously.
Alice won all the fight.
It was mad. Alex had Sakura's power. Someone had the.
Oh my days!
I'm telling you,
overpowered.
I was running like Shikamaru. Yeah, it was a fun time. It was a shame I didn't have that kind of inspiration just to draw random stuff about story. It was literally what happened in my class for that week. I drew it. But the next month, that was the talk of the class. Then that was it. I tried to do it part 2, but no one cared. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, it's over now. You had your shine. Stop it. But I was still a B, funny enough. I was still a B because it was a black character Naruto. And I was like, no, that's me. And I was like, about the only black person in my class. So I was like, yeah. Representation. You see? I had representation, intense storyline, beef.
Bro had it all.
It was highly plagiarized. It was a good story, man. It was
highly plagiarized, but it was a good story.
That's what everybody says.
That's above, man. That's above. But yeah, that was when it comes to influence and just making our own stories. But yeah, man. But I think that's it. That's all I have. Do you guys want to talk about anything else before we round it up?
I do have a quick question for all of us. I don't think it's something that we've actually talked about or given our brief kind of voice on. But it is very interesting. Obviously, I think we'll go in order with how the pod was started. So Ed, Dan, well, first Ed, let me know what was your biggest influence, not just like something general, something like fairly specific that made you wanted to start the pod.
Oh, that wanted me to start the pod?
Yeah.
Funny enough, what was the so I started watching podcasts in general, and I stumbled up on a podcast called Animatics, I think, and it was really, really good, and it was just friends talking about anime. And I also had another podcast called Shoot the Messenger, I think, and that was just talking about music in general. So I was like, you know what? It's just friends talking. I was like, that's really fun. Then lo and behold, like I kid you not, a week or two later, I saw Dan in the bus because we're coming home from work. And I was like, "Yo, how about we do this?" And that's how it started, bro.
Do you want to add on to that, Dan?
Yeah, literally.
Your side?
Yeah. So where I used to work, Edward, when he was coming back from uni, he'd get on the same bus. So sometimes I would see him, and then like we'd be talking. We just get to start talking about anime because we met at one of our friends' parties, and then we were talking. That's how we started talking about anime then. So yeah, we'd see each other after work, and then like one time he just said, "Oh yeah, thinking of doing the podcast. Do you wanna join me?" I'm like, "Okay, cool," because I don't really. I don't know. I didn't really think about it. I was just thinking like it'd be nice to have a space where you can talk about it, and then we'll see where it goes. So for me, it was just like he asked me. I was like, cool, and then we're here now.
Yeah, man, it was good. We're talking about anime in the bus anyway. How about we just buy equipment and talk about it in the house? Basically.
Yeah, literally.
Then I received the message.
Yeah,
Cheeky WhatsApp message
about Shaman King.
And I was like, you know what? I'd love to talk about Shaman King. And then the rest was history, isn't it? Influential.
Yeah, man.
Sure. I remember
the Zoom days.
I think
The
Zoom days, yeah. I remember when you came out and you're just like, "Oh, yo, Ed, what are you talking about Mob Psycho 100?" Because I said I didn't like it because of the animation.
Oh, yeah.
And you were downloaded. Rochelle was shocked. What did you say? Funny enough, I like Mob Psycho 100 now a lot, but it was like, "What are you talking about, Ed?" And there was that kind of conversation. I was like, "Yeah, I like Rochelle. You're funny. It's not to say what he wants to say." But that's how the AK mindset started. And still existing 37 episodes later. You know? And a lot of update episodes later too.
It's crazy. I was looking at the YouTube the other day and I was like, bruh, like there's legit a history of us online, like videos and discussing anime. It's crazy. Like I was like, huh? You know, sometimes you don't think how big something is in regards to, you know, the amount we've done and the amount of time we spent doing this. So you can't really see it in the day to day because we really just think episode to episode and how to improve next. But then looking back, it's like, right, we've come so far and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's an amazing journey, and I'm still happy to keep on going.
Yes, sir.
No one has to do it, but with the boys. So
of course,
It's been amazing. But yeah, if that's everything on our minds, we should wrap it up. Before we wrap it up, we'll say, Rizal, tell the people something before we wrap up. You know, close us out.
Yeah, I would say, guys, you know, don't be scared to venture out and watch something new. You don't have to always stick to, even as you come here for anime talk, there's stuff out there beyond anime that will open your horizon. So don't be fearful to go and expose yourself to new content and stuff like with an open eye and open heart. And I'm sure you have an experience.
Amazingly said.
Yes, sir.
Very well said. And yeah, as always, thank you so much for listening to us. Expect more episodes from us, you know, and we have our YouTube, AK Mindset, our Twitter, AK Mindset, our Instagram, AK.mindset. Fucking have what it even is, but we're there. AK Mindset, search us up. You should find us, and we're happy to interact. And we just see you next time. Deuces.
Peace.
Peace.